My girlfriend looked at me and said, "I don't feel romantic feelings anymore." I replied, "Okay." I didn't argue, didn't explain, just changed one quiet habit. Later that night, she noticed something was missing, and that's when everything stopped. I'm 34, been in a relationship for 3 years, and I just learned that sometimes the most powerful response to rejection is complete acceptance. My girlfriend and I had been living together for about a year and a half. We met through friends, dated for 18 months before deciding to get a place together. The relationship had been good, or so I thought. We had our routines, our inside jokes, our comfortable patterns. I worked from home doing software consulting. She had a corporate job that kept her at the office most days. Our evenings were usually spent cooking together, watching shows, just existing in the same space. About 2 months ago, things started feeling different. She'd come home later, be on her phone more. Conversations became shorter, less engaged. When I'd ask about her day, I'd get one-word answers. When I'd suggest doing something together on weekends, she'd be tired or have plans with friends. I noticed, but didn't push. Figured she was stressed with work, going through something, needed space. Last Tuesday, she came home around 8 p.m. I was in the kitchen making dinner like I always did. Pasta, her favorite. I'd gotten into the habit over the years of always making sure she had a good meal waiting when she got home. It was one of those small acts of care that had just become part of our routine. She dropped her bag by the door, didn't come into the kitchen like usual, just stood in the living room. "Can we talk?" I turned off the stove. "Sure, what's up?" She sat on the couch. I sat across from her in the chair, suddenly aware that something heavy was coming. "I've been thinking a lot lately. About us. About where I'm at emotionally." I waited. "I don't feel romantic feelings for you anymore." The words just hung there. Not said with cruelty, not said with satisfaction. Just stated as fact, like she was reporting the weather. I felt everything and nothing simultaneously. My chest got tight, my hands went cold, but my mind went eerily calm. "Okay." She blinked. "Okay?" "Yeah, okay. You don't feel romantic feelings anymore. I heard you. That's it? You're not going to say anything? What do you want me to say? That you're wrong about your own feelings? That I can convince you to feel differently? That's not how this works. I thought you'd be more upset." "I am upset. But arguing about your feelings won't change them. If they're gone, they're gone." She looked uncomfortable, like she'd prepared for a fight, and I'd refused to participate. "So what happens now?" she asked. "I don't know. What do you want to happen?" "I don't want to break up. I still care about you. I just don't feel in love anymore. But we have this apartment. We have a life together. I don't want to throw that away." "So you want to stay together without romantic feelings?" "I want to see if the feelings come back. Sometimes people go through phases, right? Sometimes the spark fades and comes back. Maybe, but you can't force feelings that aren't there." "I know, but can we just keep going as we are? See what happens?" I thought about that. Staying in a relationship with someone who just told me they don't love me anymore. Waiting around to see if maybe someday they'd feel differently. Playing house while she figured out if I was worth loving again. "Sure," I said. "We can see what happens." She looked relieved. "Thank you. I know this is hard, but I appreciate you being understanding." "Yeah, I'm going to finish making dinner." I went back to the kitchen, finished cooking the pasta, made 2 plates like always. We ate in near silence. She went to bed early. I stayed up, staring at nothing, trying to process what had just happened. That's when I realized something. She'd told me she didn't have romantic feelings anymore, but she wanted to keep the relationship, keep the apartment, keep the comfortable life we'd built, keep me doing all the things I did for her. She just didn't want to feel obligated to reciprocate emotionally, and I'd said, okay, because arguing was pointless. But okay didn't mean nothing would change. I stopped cooking for her. That was the one habit I changed. Every evening for 3 years, I'd made sure she had dinner, thought about what she might want, made her favorites, packed her lunches. It had been my way of showing love, my way of taking care of her. But you don't do that for someone who doesn't have romantic feelings for you. That's for a partner. She'd just told me she wasn't my partner in that way anymore. So I stopped. Update 1 Wednesday night, she came home around the same time. I was at my desk working. She walked through the apartment looking for dinner. Did you not cook tonight? No. Oh, are we ordering something? I'm not hungry. You can order whatever you want. You always make dinner. I did. Past tense. She stood there processing that. Is this because of what I said yesterday? Partly. That's really petty. Is it? You don't have romantic feelings for me. Cooking someone dinner every night is something you do for a romantic partner. We're not that anymore, apparently. So I stopped. We're still together. Are we? You don't love me? You just don't want to move out? That's not a relationship, that's a roommate situation with extra steps. That's not fair. I told you I want to see if feelings come back. And they might. But until they do, I'm not going to keep performing relationship duties for someone who's checking out emotionally. Make your own dinner. She ordered takeout. Ate it in the bedroom. I heard her on the phone with someone later, voice low, probably complaining about me. Thursday morning, she came out of the bedroom dressed for work. Usually I'd have coffee ready for her, travel mug prepared exactly how she liked it. That morning there was coffee made, but only 1 cup poured. Mine. Is there more coffee? In the pot? You didn't make me a cup? You can make your own cup. Seriously. What? You have arms. You know where the mugs are. She made her own coffee, slammed the travel mug on the counter. This is childish. You're punishing me for being honest with you. I'm not punishing you. I'm adjusting my behavior to match the reality of our relationship. You don't want romance? I'm not providing romance. That's fair. Making coffee isn't romance. It was when I did it every morning for 3 years, because I wanted you to start your day knowing someone cared about you. Now it's just coffee. Make it yourself. She left for work angry. I went back to my desk. Felt nothing and everything. Couldn't tell if I was being mature or petty. Didn't really care. Update 2. The weekend was when it really hit her. Saturday morning, she woke up and asked what we were doing that day. I'm doing errands and meeting a friend for lunch. Don't know what you're doing. I thought we'd do something together. Why? Because we always do things together on weekends. We did things together when we were in a romantic relationship. You ended that Tuesday night. We're figuring out what we are now. We're still a couple. Are we? What makes us a couple if you don't have romantic feelings? We live together, sure, but roommates do that. What's the difference? She didn't have an answer. I left around 10, ran my errands, had lunch with a friend who asked how things were going. I told him everything. He was quiet for a minute. So she wants all the benefits of a relationship without the emotional investment. Basically. And you're just withdrawing all the extra stuff you used to do? Yeah. How's she taking it? Not well. She thinks I'm punishing her. Are you? I don't know. Maybe. But also, why should I keep doing relationship things for someone who told me they're not romantically interested? That feels pathetic. It does. But it also feels like you're waiting for her to realize what she lost. Maybe. Or maybe I'm just protecting myself from being used. I got home around 3. She was on the couch watching TV. The apartment was exactly as I'd left it. She hadn't cleaned anything, hadn't done any of the household chores we usually split, just sat there expecting the day to happen around her. I went to my desk. Worked for a while. Around 6, she came out of the bedroom, dressed to go out. I'm meeting friends for dinner. Okay. You're not going to ask where or with who? No. Why not? Because you're an adult who can make your own choices. You don't need my permission. That's not what I meant. You usually ask because you're interested. I was interested when we were in a romantic relationship. Now I'm just a guy you live with. You can do whatever you want. She left. I ordered food for myself. Ate in silence. She came home around 11, clearly expecting me to ask about her night. I was in bed reading. She stood in the doorway. Did you eat? Yeah. You didn't wait for me? Why would I? We usually eat together. We did when we were together. Now we're just two people in an apartment. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. You set the terms Tuesday night. I'm just living by them. She went to her side of the bed, turned away from me. I could tell she was crying. Part of me wanted to comfort her. The bigger part knew that was exactly the trap. Comfort her, take care of her, keep proving my worth while she decided if I was good enough to love again. No, that's not how this works. Update 3, Sunday morning. She finally broke. I was making breakfast, just for myself. She came into the kitchen and just stared at the single plate. You're not making me anything? I made enough for one. This is ridiculous. You're treating me like I don't exist. No, I'm treating you like someone who doesn't have romantic feelings for me. There's a difference. I said I wanted to see if feelings could come back. And I said okay. But seeing if feelings come back doesn't mean I keep auditioning for a relationship that already ended. You told me how you feel. I believe you. Now I'm acting accordingly. So what? We're just roommates now? I don't know. What do you want us to be? I want us to be what we were. What we were included romantic feelings. You don't have those anymore, so we can't be what we were. We're something else now, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. By freezing me out? By stopping behaviors that were based on romantic love? I'm not freezing you out. I'm just not pretending we're something we're not. She sat down at the kitchen table, put her head in her hands. I don't know what I want. That's fine. Take your time figuring it out. But while you do, I'm not going to keep giving you relationship benefits while you decide if I'm worth loving. It's not like that. Isn't it? You get to live here, have me take care of things, have the comfort and stability of a partner, all while feeling zero obligation to reciprocate emotionally. That's a pretty good deal for you. Not so much for me. I do care about you. But you don't love me. You said that Tuesday, and I can't make you love me. So I'm not going to try. Instead, I'm going to pull back and protect myself. If your feelings come back, great. We can talk then. If they don't, at least I didn't spend months humiliating myself. She was crying now. I feel like you've already given up on us. You gave up on us Tuesday. You just expected me to keep trying anyway. I finished my breakfast, washed my plate, left her sitting there. The rest of Sunday was tense. She stayed in the bedroom most of the day, came out a few times, clearly wanting to talk, but not knowing what to say. I worked, went for a walk, lived my life, acted like we were roommates who barely knew each other. By evening, she couldn't take it anymore. Update 4. She cornered me in the living room around 8 p.m. We need to actually talk about this. Okay. You're being intentionally cold. You're making this harder than it needs to be. How should I be making it? I don't know. But not like this. Not like you don't care at all. I do care. That's why this hurts. But caring doesn't mean I'm going to keep performing a relationship for someone who's checked out. I haven't checked out. I'm just going through something. And you're welcome to go through it. But you don't get to go through it while I keep doing all the emotional labor of a relationship. That's not fair to me. So, what do you want? You want me to move out? I want you to figure out what you actually want. Not what's comfortable, not what's easy. What you actually want. I want to be with you. No, you don't. You want the life we built. You want the apartment and the routines and the comfort. But you don't want me romantically. You said that. Feelings can change. They can. But I'm not going to wait around hoping you'll decide I'm good enough. If you want to be with me, be with me. If you don't, leave. But this middle ground where you get all the benefits and none of the obligation, that's over. She was quiet for a long time. Then, what if I'm scared? Scared of what? Scared that if I leave, I'll realize I made a mistake. Scared that the feelings will come back, but it'll be too late. That's a risk you take. But you can't hold me hostage to your fear. You can't keep me in a relationship where you don't love me just in case you change your mind. That's not what I'm doing. It's exactly what you're doing. And I'm telling you, I'm not available for that. Decide what you want. Actually, decide. But until you do, I'm treating you like what you said we are. Not romantic partners. She went back to the bedroom. I heard her on the phone again, longer this time. Probably her friends, probably telling them I was being unreasonable. Maybe I was. But I was also being honest. Monday morning, she left for work without saying goodbye. Came home late. This pattern continued for 3 days. We barely spoke. The apartment felt like a hotel where two strangers happened to have rooms on the same floor. Thursday night, she came home early, found me in the kitchen making dinner, just for myself, like always now. Can we go back to how things were? No. Why not? Because how things were was a lie. You weren't happy. You didn't have romantic feelings. You were just coasting. I'm not interested in coasting anymore. I miss you. You miss what I did for you. There's a difference. That's not true. Isn't it? Name one thing you miss about me that isn't something I did for you. She couldn't. She stood there, searching for an answer and couldn't find one. That's what I thought. Update 5. Friday, she didn't come home after work. Texted me around 7 saying she was staying with a friend. Needed space to think. I responded with okay and nothing else. She was gone all weekend. I had the apartment to myself. Cleaned everything, reorganized some furniture, made the space feel more mine and less ours. By Sunday evening, I realized I felt lighter than I had in months. The constant tension was gone. The performance was over. She came back Sunday night around 9, looked exhausted. I need to tell you something. Okay. I've been talking to someone, a guy from work. Nothing physical happened, but there's been an emotional connection. I think that's why my feelings for you faded. There it was, the real reason. Not some mysterious loss of feelings. A new option had appeared. Okay? That's all you're going to say? What else is there to say? You developed feelings for someone else. Your feelings for me faded. Now you're figuring out what you want. I've been saying this whole time that you weren't invested in us anymore. Now I know why. I didn't cheat on you. Emotionally, you did, but I'm not interested in arguing about definitions. So what now? Now you decide, him or me, but you don't get to keep both, and you don't get to keep stringing me along while you figure it out. I don't want to lose you. You lost me Tuesday when you told me you didn't have romantic feelings. Everything since then has been aftermath. This is just confirming what I already knew. She started crying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. I believe you, but it did happen. And now we deal with it. Can you forgive me? Eventually, probably. But forgiveness doesn't mean I want to be with you. It just means I'm not angry anymore. So we're done? I think we've been done for a while. We're just making it official now. She nodded, wiped her eyes. I'll start looking for a new place. Take your time. I'm not trying to kick you out, but we both know this isn't working. She went to the bedroom. I stayed in the living room. The apartment felt different now. Less like a home, more like a waiting room. We were both just waiting for the next thing. Final update. That was 6 weeks ago. She moved out 3 weeks later, found a place closer to her work. We divided everything amicably. No fighting, no drama. Just two people acknowledging what had already been true. I've seen her once since then. Ran into her at a coffee shop. We were polite, asked how each other was doing, kept it brief. She looked happy. I was genuinely glad for her. The guy from her work? They're dating now, officially. She posted a picture of them on social media. I saw it, felt nothing, kept scrolling. Good for them. Honestly. Friends have asked me if I'm okay. I tell them I am, and it's mostly true. The end of the relationship hurt, but not as much as the weeks leading up to it. The weeks where I was trying to be enough for someone who'd already decided I wasn't. That hurt worse than the ending. I learned that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stop trying. Stop performing. Stop auditioning for someone's affection. When she told me she didn't have romantic feelings, I could have argued, tried to win her back, done grand gestures. Instead, I just accepted it and pulled back. And that simple act of withdrawal showed both of us the truth. She didn't miss me. She missed what I did for her. She missed the comfort and the care and the routines. But she didn't miss me as a person. And once I stopped providing those things, she had to face that reality. The quiet habit I changed was cooking dinner. Such a small thing, but it was symbolic of all the other small things I did that added up to love. When I stopped doing them, the illusion fell apart. She couldn't pretend we were fine when I wasn't holding up the pretense anymore. Would I have done anything differently? Maybe. But probably not. Fighting for someone who doesn't want to be fought for is exhausting and pointless. She told me how she felt. I believed her. Everything after that was just consequences. The apartment feels more like mine now. I've been dating casually, nothing serious. Taking time to figure out what I actually want in a partner instead of just accepting what's comfortable. Sometimes people ask if I miss her. I miss the idea of the relationship we had before she checked out. But the person she became in those final months, the person who wanted all the benefits with none of the emotional investment, I don't miss that at all. I stopped cooking dinner for her. Such a small act of withdrawal. But it revealed everything. When you stop doing the things that hold a relationship together, you find out if there's anything underneath. In our case, there wasn't. Just two people going through motions, one of them waiting for the other to notice it was already over. She noticed. And everything stopped. Not dramatically, not with a fight. Just quietly, inevitably, the way things do when they've been dying for a while. I'm okay with that now. More than okay. I'm building something new. Something that doesn't require me to prove my worth every day. Something where both people are invested. Both people show up. Both people actually want to be there. That's the difference. That's what I was missing. And now that I know what it looks like,